Girls.
Hello and welcome back to Apostate Coalition, a news, education, and information channel. And we already have started our very last round of sin. We're knee deep. And I'm just going to jump right into the sin and pass it on over. Pull in my friend over here, forget it all, Dr. Time Waster.
Hey, we are having far too much fun getting ready for the show. So, pardon
I'm
us.
not gonna say what we're doing. I'm not going to say.
You know, to be perfectly honest, we've been doing this sin topic for holy shoot.
Hey.
Hey, you guys know what I'm doing on my phone. Sinning, obviously. No, we've been kind of talking about sin for a long time, and I think we've made a lot of really good points, and we brought up a lot of stuff. But I also gave everybody homework if you were here last time, and so we just thought we'd do another round of sin, just make sure we get it out of our system, and then we'll move on. You know, what do you guys think?
I done forgot the homework.
You forgot the homework?
I only know
remember
because I got told behind stage here. Not gonna lie. Sorry. I can sin. I could lie.
I can remind you what the homework is, and then you can think about it. So it was actually Shane. It was It was actually the basis for morality, and everybody was supposed to go back and write down what they thought the basis of their own personal morality is, because we had defined what morality is as something that is subjected to everybody. So, what did you guys? Anyone do the homework?
What their basis for morality is?
I'm missing all.
I have mine, but I prepared this years ago.
The basis of my morality.
Yeah, what is the basis of your morality? I had kind of run down a list, so if you guys aren't ready,
I'm not ready. I'll go second or last or whatever.
Yeah, he's like the person that wants to order last at the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what y'all get.
Y'all order first. No, I'll go last.
Make sure I don't miss out on nothing good.
Right. Well, we had Ryan's having fun with the comments. Ryan and I were talking about
deep in it.
The basis of our moralities behind the scenes before everybody got here. Yes, obviously, a sin. That's all we do here. What are you doing? I'm in the wrong box. I think I need to be in the other box.
You want to be with Dancing Jesus?
Yes.
Oh, that's what that is.
I'm stripper pole, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm in the proper one.
So Brian and I were talking behind the scenes, and one of the things we had come up with our basis of morality was harm reduction. We had mentioned wanting to treat, that concept of treat others the way you want to be treated. I think it's a good concept, but I think it's incomplete, because the way you want to be treated may not be the way others want to be treated. So
right, I'm not gonna go and suck everybody's dick.
What's that? Right.
So I'm not gonna go and suck everybody's dick.
But maybe treat people the way they want to be treated within reason.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the golden rule isn't really.
What is
the silver rule?
I thought the golden rule was
gold makes the rule. Wait,
treat others how you want to be treated.
Oh,
I thought that's what it is, but it isn't even in the Bible. They've kind of I think that's one of those things they put into the mouth of Jesus, but he never said that or something, or maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know where that would be in the Bible. I'm not sure.
I value my life. That's why I do it. And because I value my life, if I'm in a place where killing is just the thing you do, I don't want to be there.
I don't either.
I don't want to be there.
So
Oh
I've
my
thought about this quite
god.
a bit, and
I
tried
wouldn't
to-
want to be there either.
I've tried to come at it from a selfish standpoint, where what I want is I just want to create the best environment for myself to live in. And the best environment for myself to live in will require me to act in the way that I want other people to act. I will have to act like them, they will have to act like me. We will all have to act in a similar manner.
Mhm.
So we won't all be sucking each other's dicks because I don't want
You know
to
what
suck
that sounds
everybody's
like?
dick. But we all will be treating everybody well because I want everybody to be treated well. I want to be treated well. That's all good. What does that sound like?
That sounds like a church.
We've
Not-
started a cult.
No, but not
alright.
like you're like any specific church, but it sounds like yeah, like even if it's something not like everybody, because so many different people have so many different things, pockets of people are grouping together with their shared ideas of how they want to exist in the world. Only issue is for them it's moral, but for a person for a person who doesn't want to participate in it, then it becomes a problem. But for them, they don't care because they're thinking about them. They want to live in the world, so it doesn't matter if you suffer in this world that they want, because they want the world they want. I don't know if that made any sense. I'm just kind of just rambling through my brain right now, so don't mind me, y'all.
I don't even know what you said.
I forgot the first half.
All I'm saying is, I don't know, man.
I wonder.
Maybe we should join. Maybe we should start a church and we just all agree upon the same set doctrine, and then
Yeah, that's what I
It's
think is
more of
I
the
don't think that
same.
there should be any specific doctrine of how people are supposed to act. I think the doctrine should just be to not judge others and try to let them navigate their own nature.
I think that's what my brain always run into. The hardest part is to exclude the reality of what I live in, because it's like, yeah, but to my brain, I was like, yeah, sounds good, but that ain't what it is. It's never gonna be that. And then I just say, best I can do is seclude myself and stay away from the murders.
Stay away from the what?
The murders.
Murderers.
The murders.
The murders.
And all you sinners on here, man. I was so close to getting to Jehovah.
Well, don't let us stand in your way, by all means.
You were ready to get baptized.
I was ready. I was.
You were going to put on the new personality.
Yes. I was going to get the most important certificate of my life. Baptism. Y'all give out baptism certificates, right?
No. Okay, I was going to say, have something changed and I didn't even know.
Oh, they doing well. Baptist church give out baptism certificates. It's like it's on par with like graduating from high school.
Yeah, that was that framed certificate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it was handed out, they say this is probably the most important piece of paper you get in your life.
That looked like a forgery to me, though. I don't think that was a real baptism. I don't think you've been baptized.
Who, me?
Yeah, it looked like a forgery.
Oh, that's from a real baptism, but not mine. I don't even know what happened to that thing. I remember when I got that paper, I think I just kind of folded it up in my pocket and went home. Said, Mom, I got baptized. She said, "Oh, you did? All right."
He showed me one of those baptism certificates, and it looked like when people, like frame their high school diploma or their bachelor's degree or something on the wall.
And it looked like that.
And then he made some comments about his baptism, and I looked at it, I zoomed in, and I was like, that is not his name. Liar.
I've been undercover, man, trying to get y'all back over to back over to Jehovah, but y'all a tough bunch.
You're gonna have to redo that baptism, for every denomination you want to get into.
Oh, we should have a game of it.
Somebody,
And
oh,
see
that'd be
who
a
gets
great show.
baptized in all different religions first.
Baptism
Netflix.
bingo.
Or whatever their thing is.
The four of us just created. We're gonna go in on this. We're gonna pitch this to Netflix. Somebody goes and gets baptized in every Christian religion that does baptisms,
Covering your
so they
bases.
can make it to every heaven.
That is a true. What is it? Pascal's wager. Like, that is some honest devotion to Pascal's wager to go get baptized in every Christian religion just in case.
Season
I might.
2, you
I might.
get
Oh,
very.
it's a.
I don't know what the practices of like Sunni and Shia Islam is, but that's season 2. Season 3, you can go in Hindu. You can keep going season by season.
just add them.
There's I think it's a Lutheran church down the street, and it says more than just a church. And I'm like, yeah, y'all are more than just a church. Y'all do all types of weird stuff in there.
Yeah, more than just church. We're also a.
I've never been to a
corporation and
Lutheran
cult.
church, though.
That's
Lutheran.
a sin.
Okay. Yep. Well, so you have to go to a church to find sin. I think that's pretty obvious because sin doesn't really exist outside of the church. So, the crime. What's the difference between a sin and a crime?
Well,
Laws
they're the
have
same. Neither
nothing to
based
do
on
with
anything
morality.
logical. Sorry.
I found.
What?
What was that? The Church
Crime.
of Christ Bible Study.
Study. Ooh, what is
These are
that note?
It's just the folder. It's nothing in there from there. I just found this at my mom's house, and I had been using the folder. And I dug it out when I moved, and I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot I had the folder from when we went." It's just in there with my DARE certificate.
Oh fuck!
I'm just saying. I need to get it framed and let people know I'm a DARE graduate. See, I used to be sinless. Well, I'm still sinless, but y'all trying to contaminate me and bring me to the dark side. But I'm gonna stay righteous.
Pretty sure I had I must have had a dare.
Because I figure like this: like, say I die, I get to heaven, and God said, "Oh, you did all this stuff," and I pull out that DARE certificate. He said, "Oh, come on in." Can you say you dare to resist drugs and violence?
Didn't DARE make it worse? Is that what you said, Dr. Time Waster?
Oh, I have no idea.
No,
I said I think I must have had one too, because I remember being in the 5th grade and DARE was all the rage.
Yeah, everybody was doing the DARE thing, signing the pledge.
I believe you. I
allowed to
did.
do the DARE thing because of being Jehovah's Witness.
What?
I wasn't allowed to go up and graduate the DARE program because, well, I don't remember all of the exact reasons, but I know one of the reasons was that they required everybody to wear a DARE shirt that had an American flag on it.
Oh, Jesus.
And I couldn't wear the shirt with an American flag on it.
Man,
yeah, that'll do it. We're not. Tyler, did you know that we're not allowed to have American flags?
You told me that before. Y'all ain't not have a lot of things, man. I'm glad.
Like we weren't allowed to be considered any form of patriotic whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that meant wearing a T-shirt that had the colors on it, or celebrating the 4th of July.
I'm appreciative of this at this point.
Isn't it funny that all those things that probably got people disfellowshipped is now like soft shun?
Yep.
That is just as I sit here with my American. Oh, y'all can't see it. As I sit up with my American flag stuff everywhere. I just love America, y'all.
That's fine. You're allowed to.
I just love America. Not the America that, but this America. This America right here. That's on this group call.
I don't know. I
Did I lose you?
constantly compare myself to North Korea. I'm like, if I was in North Korea and I was doing this, how would people look at me? And I feel like having a North Korean flag in my house would be weird.
Yeah, but I think I mean, honestly, I still
mean-
think flying any flag is weird. It's just weird. Only weirdos.
I mean, word. I mean, when it's North Korea, it's kind of mandatory that you do it. It's not like you have a choice to do it. Like, you have to
What
do
if it was just? I mean, I agree. It is mandatory, not. But what if it's based on propaganda? Everybody's just propagandized to the point that they want to do it.
Yeah, but at some point, life is what it is.
True.
So, what is the difference between a sin and crime? A couple people have put comments in there.
I hadn't even
Um,
looked at the comments yet.
I was saying that like laws are just things that benefit businesses. Not really
bad.
anything. I mean, that's how I see it, quite frankly, and not anything to do with morality. Because, like, do you want me to give you a for instance, like how homelessness? I mean, it's being criminalized. So now, if a cop has to, like, his job is to go arrest somebody who's homeless and put him in jail, is that moral? It's a crime because the
No,
law
I
says
didn't ask
so.
about morality. I just simply asked about a sin and a crime. Now you're getting into the
sin and crime, not morality and crime.
Mm.
That's right.
Mm.
That's right.
That is.
I was on board because I was
that
gonna
is
say that's like when
important.
they give people tickets for giving out free food.
Oh, I
God,
know.
It's like, come
Look,
on,
it's really
Yeah.
about the
Come on, man.
safety of the quality of the food they're giving
That-
out. I mean, I
From the
doubt it.
perspective of a Christian, from the perspective of a believer of any sort, of Christian believer, whether it be Jehovah's Witness or whatever, I would say the difference between a sin and a
Comrade
crime.
Dogstopper.
Yeah, I know. I agree with it too. By the way, a sin and a crime. So, something that Jehovah's Witnesses love to talk about is a country like Russia, where it is or China, where it is a crime to go door to door and evangelize your religion. So they would say, well, it's a sin not to speak up for Jehovah, but it's a crime to speak up for Jehovah in Russia or in China. That's what they would say.
So is
That's how
sin
they
rooted
would
in?
differentiate sin and crime. Sin is something that goes against God. Crime is something that goes
Okay.
against the government.
So sin. When y'all talking about sin, it's rooted in God, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
So sin.
the vertical
And the
Morality.
government's trying to make laws based on what they think is in the Bible.
Well, time to get right with Jehovah then.
You're gonna live under the thumb of a government that is based on Jehovah.
I know, but the thing about it is, it's not even the extremist people that's making it really happen. It's the casual believer. Those are the most dangerous ones, in my opinion. Because when I say a casual believer, I mean like they not actively talking about religion, they're not actively pushing religion. So when they hear something like that, they're not like, they take for example like abortion. Like if you think that's a sin, but you're not really out there, like you don't really care if somebody do or don't. But if somebody present that as something that they're gonna not do, you're not, it's not affecting you, so you don't care as much. Oh yeah, it's sin, huh? Whatever. I'm casual believer, and that's who runs the world. Casual believers.
Yeah, casual believers prop up extreme believers.
Casual believer. That sounds like some kind of church song.
man. Are you a cat? That's something they could turn that into. Are you a casual believer? How about
do
you get formal with God?
you wear slacks to the Kingdom Hall?
Oh man, y'all never could wear shorts to the Kingdom Hall, huh?
No, that's the thing. They
What?
just made slacks legal.
Oh, that's
for
what I've been
women.
seeing.
Did you say
Slacks.
shorts?
I said shorts.
Yeah, that would never be allowed.
So when you
Shorts.
say, hold on, wait.
Oh, I
Wait.
wonder if that'll be next for the dudes.
Wait. When you say slacks, what you mean slacks? Like
Dress
jeans?
pants.
Gaming?
No, dress pants. I'm sorry. I should say.
Oh, so
Like,
what? Y'all
imagine
had to
Hillary
wear.
Clinton
Everybody had to wear what? What was they wearing other than dress pants?
We had to wear skirts all the time.
Oh, you talking about for the ladies?
Yeah, at the Kingdom Hall
I was
outlet.
like, what the men? If the men wasn't wearing pants,
Yeah.
there?
The men now don't have to wear a dress coat and a tie unless they're going to be on stage.
Looks more like
You know-
Mormon.
You know what's happening.
They said
Mm.
something about unless it's the custom, like I don't
You
know.
know what's happening.
Unless it's the local custom, like your local custom. Yes, they basically called out local customs, but you could interpret that different ways, as everything happens with everything the governing body says can be interpreted either very strictly or very
Right.
loosely.
You know what they're doing.
Intentional,
You know what they're doing.
weaselly.
They're
What?
doing what they're doing with the greatest. They're doing what their counterparts, the Baptists, have mastered. You have to infiltrate into everyday life, and they're trying to do that now. They're slowly going to get there to the point. Wait till you go to look at these churches. You go to one of those as a church, you can wear you just show up with shorts, sandals. It just you forget you even there. Put your coffee shop in there. Wait, they're gonna just wait. They finna wait. They finna it's that whole no. It's only no. It's the 144th Christmas. Everybody, come on. Jehovah said we can celebrate Christmas. Watch, Christmas gonna be open. Birthday's gonna be open. They're gonna open up everything. Because in my opinion, they're probably looking at, oh, we're not recruiting like we thought we was.
Mhm.
Because if I'm not, I see more. Well, probably because of the algorithm, and I talk to y'all people, but I just get a lot of ex Jehovah Witness people. And if anything, I think that will be the first ones to fall apart.
What do you mean?
Because, like the first one, if you talk about like the big, like this, if this was the big league of those types of religion, you got Baptists,
As a
Jehovah Witness.
religion, you mean?
Yeah, Baptists. I think Jehovah Witness probably was going to be the first big one to fall off because they have always been
prophesized they're going to be the last ones.
They have been, but they have always,
and
but
that's
they,
when the end will come.
but they've always been weird to the point where even the Baptists were looking at, didn't want to bother with them. Like, yo, those people are weird.
They're not true Christians. So,
yeah, they was calling the cult was calling y'all the cult. So y'all gonna be first fall off. It's coming. Well, them, because y'all ain't there no more. It's all
but
y'all
they're
fault.
also all trying
all
to
y'all
play
fault.
from the same basic playbook, and so that adds another layer to it versus just coming up with a completely different concept altogether, which is what's easier for everybody to rally behind. You know, like even the casual believer, as you say, you know, they're going to rally behind what's similar to what they've already known and grown up with because it's familiar and it's comfortable. That's why everybody wants to go back to the way things were when they were children, is because it was comfortable and wonderful. But like, that's all it is.
I saw
It's not
this
reality.
I thought this dude singing, it was Christian, right wing kind of person singing about Jesus. He could be no old. He probably no older than Dobstopper. And he was singing about, I remember the times when back in. What are you talking about? You acting like you're 80 years old and you remember when it was year one or something. Shut up.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to hear anybody sing about times I remember that is like younger than 50.
Like,
Did you say time saver?
Times they remember. Like past, like I don't want to hear anybody recollect upon the past
I see.
that is younger than 50 years old.
Well, forget you. I'm finna regulate on my past. Back in my day,
I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna
Gobstoppers
hear it.
knew where their place.
I don't want to hear it. You're too young.
Gobstoppers. But I got age. You gotta say, but I got age like fast. I didn't get the opportunity to be as young when I was a kid because I was around old people all the time. My grandma was old. I hung out at old people houses. I just talked to old people. I was always talking to old people, and I've always hung out with people older than me because I just care for their conversations more.
Cougar. Stay away from my mom. Is all I'm saying.
Wow. You can't get this apart.
Okay, so like, I just want to come back to this.
Dr. Time Waster's nemesis.
Rein it in. I wrote down sin is in the eye of the beholder. And I wrote that because it's really in the eyes of God. But of course, what does God see? What does God believe? And everybody's going to interpret their own things, right? So like sin is all related to God and a God or the God or however you want to define it. But crimes are just things that are similar to the concept of sin. And like, I think somebody said they may overlap in some way, but it's just it's a man-made thing that we've decided to do as a society, or whoever in society has decided this. But they're the same kind of thing.
Like time saver.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Is like time saver. That doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in, but I misheard. So anyway.
You're at it again, Dr. Time Waster.
Daylight savings time waster.
I do like that I sound like the villain in this one, so I'm okay with that. Anyway, crime, breaking laws, this is all something society has come up with. Sin is all that society has come up with, but we pretend that it's not. It's pretending that God did it. God has told us to do this. Mm-hmm. Whereas a society is us deciding what to do, whether or not they're good things or bad things, right? Like, I think we can all pull out things that society has made outside of religion that is way better than what religion is saying to do, and vice versa. There's lots of problems and corruption in our justice system and our legal system and how we make the laws. And I think calling out the flaws and doing root cause analysis where we actually find out why did this terrible thing happen. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
What?
I was messing with something. I
was like, I'm not saying insurrection. Okay, calm down.
You can bite out of that taco. But
you know, like, we can criticize our government usually, most of the time, depending on the government. Hopefully, but
depending,
you can't criticize God. It's God. It's a higher power. But all it really is just a loophole for people to still control other people.
Yeah.
But through divinity instead of a community of people who've all agreed to do something or abide by certain rules, whether they're good or bad. Morality is totally different. A lot of our laws, like, you know, Ryan, you were pointing out, criminalizing homelessness and being in poverty and criminalizing things that people have no control.
You know what the greatest sin is?
What's that?
Disbelief.
The greatest sin you can ever commit
is not believing in God.
No, soliciting outside of a grocery store.
You're
one of your sins?
Morality, brother.
No, I don't solicit outside of grocery stores. I don't like people who solicit outside of grocery stores.
Not that. So if you were God, you're saying that would be like
unforgivable.
So is that like the hell? Straight to hell.
Straight. You don't even straight. No, none. Get here.
I felt a need to solicit. What's the best place to do so?
Not in front of a store.
I
on side of the road, so I can just drive by.
Side of the road.
Yeah, right there. Meow.
Stoplight.
No, because man, I like not to get too far off the rails here, but I had a thought. I said, like, I was talking to this person. I was coming out the store and I told them no, and they were just so persistent. And when I finished and I was walking back to my car, I said, like, is this what the lady's talking about right here? Because I was telling this person no, and they were just constantly trying to. I said, I don't want to feed those animals over there. These groceries are hot. Leave me alone. And they wouldn't take it. They must have took that Alpha Dom guy's course.
Oh yeah. By the way, I know I said this before we went live, but now that you mentioned that, I'm going to say it after. I'm going to start. Actually, no, I'm not going to say it because somebody's going to steal it before I can create it.
Exactly. Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to
You
myself.
talking about that idiot on TikTok, that Dom guy?
Somebody's echoing.
I don't think it's
Hello?
him.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it because somebody probably already took it. I'm going to be Alpha Sub. I just think that would be much better.
Alpha who?
Alpha Sub.
Because he's like an alpha Dom. And
Yeah, I'm going to be the Alpha Sub. Like, I'm the alpha of all subs.
I'm just going to. There's only one alpha in my life, and that's the Omega.
oh boy. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you. Moving on. No, I was kidding.
And anyway,
I just wanted to so I had a couple of things in mind. We talked about sin, we talked about crime, morality versus ethics. Basically, ethics is morality, but also a group decision, that society respects. So making an ethical decision or policy or forming a committee, it's usually committees of people that come together to decide what we as a group of people are going to do that is ethical. Yes, sir. Are you raising your hand?
Can I answer Dandy's comment? Okay.
Oh,
wait, Dandy's
sure.
comment?
What?
Oh,
What you do is you go inside the store, you go to the cookie aisle, and you get that Keebler because that is the company who makes those Girl Scout cookies.
I would believe him.
do they sell all the same
I
kinds?
believe him.
Well, they're the parent company of the company that
Samoa
makes the
or
Girl
whatever.
Scout cookies. So you're just getting a markup price because now they sell those flavors in the store now. So you just should go in there,
Wait, who's the parent company?
Keebler.
Keebler makes Girl Scout cookies?
Yes.
Dobways.
It's good.
Don Star, you look like I just destroyed your reality.
A
Keebler
6-inch
makes
Alpha
Girl Scout
Sub
cookies.
sandwich. 6-inch Alpha Sub is the best thing I've ever heard.
Yep. For last round.
Dobways.
I'm gonna write Subway and ask them, hey, can you guys add something to the menu
Sure.
called the
That's
Alpha?
definitely her.
They already did that.
So I want the Alpha Subs.
Alpha Sub.
I'm going to be
Tastes
known
great.
henceforth as the Alpha Sub. Please, I'm changing my TikTok name to the Alpha Sub.
No more Dob Stalker?
If I can get the username.
Hurry up while it
I'm
lasts.
not buying it, by the way. So if you think you're gonna sell it to me,
You're
you're
welcome,
wrong.
man.
You're just gonna have the TikTok name Alpha
Saved you
Sub
$5
for
or
yourself.
$6.
Hope you're ready to be the best sub in the world.
$5. $5 foot.
I swear I had a point at one
$5
point.
football.
You did, and I derailed you.
A point.
You did.
I like to just end the topic with me talking about being the best sub in the world,
Yeah. Okay.
and just everybody be silent after that.
Well, I had a point I wanted to come to, and that was morality is individual. Ethics is usually basically a moral decision that a group of people are all going to agree to abide by. Like, first, do no harm is an ethical ideology that medical practitioners use. And I wanted to talk about and compare sins, crimes, morality, and ethics to what the Jehovah's Witness organization has laid out for its people to follow, because I believe they all call it sin. But I think as we look at what that organization does and how they work, they kind of steal a little bit of all of it to come up with their own little concoction of what they call sin. And they're saying God is the one telling us to do these things. And it doesn't look, the evidence doesn't really look like a God's driving this. It kind of looks like a bunch of humans who are figuring out how to organize themselves and steal things from other corporate genres of work, take their ethical policies, take their practices and procedures, and morph into this religion that we have, that we've all grown up in, that we know pretty well as normal, and then package it all up as God did it.
But he did do it.
So they
do it.
A knob away
Good
for
point.
dinner.
Won't he do it? Extra mayo, please.
Ew.
Mm.
Ah, food sounds.
Oh,
Love it.
you don't like food sounds? Uh-oh.
I get it.
My
That's why
dog's back here getting it done.
That's primarily why we watch King of the Hill while we eat, because they make food sounds. I just gotta cut it up, or it's just, I don't know. It's just when I hear it, it just makes me angry.
Mastication.
You know, there's something to it. Who knows? Dr. Tom Richard, what was your point?
I don't know. Apparently nothing. It's it doesn't stimulate the conversation I was hoping it would.
What the Jehovah's Witnesses laid out? I don't know what they laid out.
Well, so what? That's a hard question to answer, because they have books that they've published that basically go into detail, and they'll quote biblical scriptures and then use that as the excuse for why you should not wear beards, or why you should always wear a dress to the meeting, or why you should look and sound a certain way when you're in public, or not draw attention to you, or when to draw attention to you. Just like every single thing.
Let me derail you now, because you just
every single thing they've told us to do is.
But it's about one of the things you just said.
From God, and that's what I'm just trying to point out. It's not. Go ahead, do it.
So you said the thing about how you talk in public. I saw something on the TikToks about, I forgot what it was called, but it was like the way the it's like kind of how those church ladies speak. Like you gotta talk a certain way to sound like they have a certain way of talking.
Okay.
And it was kind of referenced kind of like almost like baby talk, but not quite baby talk or something like that. You know, because I said, like, yeah, they do all. Then I started looking, I said, they do all sound the same. Why do they talk like that? It's weird. It's a weird way they talk. Like whenever you see like the pastor's wife, they across the board, they all talk the same.
Yeah. You know that that woman from, I think her name is Michelle, from like 22 and Counting, 19 and Counting.
Yeah.
How she talks with that baby talk kind of submissive voice. And she always, it's almost like she sings songy when she talks. And
Are you just talking about like that's how all the women sound because that's how they were groomed in their religion to be and behave?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with you that probably every religion to some degree does that. Our own society does that. Everybody is trying to be the next viral thing and popular thing and something that people copy. I mean, that's just, I think, human nature in
Yeah,
our
but
modern
it
society.
just sounds weird though. It sounds childlike almost at times.
Mhm.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I don't
It's
think
meant to
I've heard
be
enough of
like,
it.
why you want your white son a child? Weird.
Well, I mean, so that was another thing I was going to bring up,
Guess
but
that's
maybe
the
we
use of
don't
that
need
in
to.
the
We're going hamburgers.
Hamburgers? What? What? All right. Well, I don't know. I feel like there've been a lot of changes recently with what's happening? There've been a lot of announcements and a lot of changes in the Jehovah's Witness organization, and I've been out of it for a long time, but I was raised in it, and so I have a bit of a perspective on it that's a bigger chunk of time being away from it. You know, like when you're really close to something, you don't always notice the subtle changes, but when you've been away from it for so long, it's different. You notice it more. And so I notice a lot of changes more. And so just them coming out and saying a lot of things recently, like, oh, we're changing the way we do this and the way we do that. It's just really weird to me, I guess, to see it and think that those are all things that they needed these grown men to tell them what to do. Like I've been away for so long, I don't need somebody to tell me how to dress. My own job doesn't tell me how to dress.
And
I have
it
a
would be a
profession,
job.
and I have
I
purple
don't-
hair, and nobody gives a fuck
Look here.
what I do or what
I
I
don't
look
care
like.
how grown you think you is. Your mama still gotta say.
They have the audacity to tell grown people how to behave, and then they say, oh, we don't interfere with people's personal lives, with their personal choices. Then this is a clear example of how, yes, you were micromanaging people's lives on how they
If they-
could dress.
Yeah, because if they wasn't, then they wouldn't have to do this, right?
Exactly. So as much as like it's great to be finally like moving forward into the 21st century, it's also kind of frustrating because we've been saying like, yo, this is weird.
I'm glad
Like,
y'all
I'm
got
happy
out,
for
man.
them.
I'm glad y'all got out.
Thank you.
I'm glad y'all see what y'all would have missed. See how much of life
Did
y'all
we?
would have missed out
Could you
on.
tell my mom? Could you tell my mom that?
Did we get out?
No, I didn't know. No. No. The church keeps her busy, so we're not
I
even
don't
alone.
I don't think it Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is weird. It's more of a cult now than it ever has been before because I'm so far removed from it that now when I look at them going, hey guys, you can acknowledge someone's existence when they walk through the door, whether they've been disfellowshipped or not. Like I'm sorry, what? That's right. My God, that's right. I had like averted my eyes and don't look at the person coming in. And that's weird. It's weird. I did that
Diverted
to
your
one of my
eyes. What
best
you
friend.
What you divert your eyes from?
From the person you were
Person who was
shunning.
disfellowshipped walking through the door.
That's weird.
People that I would have normally been super happy to go up and talk to and share my day or ask them
Up.
and I have to
Same.
ignore them. But
Two of my good friends. Yep.
I don't have to ignore them, but I mean, like, don't actually have a conversation with them. But you can acknowledge they exist.
I think people do. I think regular people shun people too, but not as religiously as how y'all do it. It's not like a mandatory. It's not like
happen outside.
No.
We're not that.
No. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying you can kind of see when you see that the normal behaviors and how they took a normal behavior and manipulated it into making it worse than what it actually. Because in a normal everyday shunning, like you get mad, you just but it's not like people who don't have anything to do with the situation begins to shun. Like you just go to like if you got an issue with somebody and something happened to person, not I gotta shun the person too. I don't even talk to that person anyway. Now I gotta treat this person like it's trash. But
I think it's fine to let people decide whether they want to interact with somebody, whether they want to be
Yeah.
friends with somebody. That is your
That's completely
individual
different.
decision. But when people, grown adults, are telling grown adults that you can't even acknowledge the existence of somebody that you've been best friends with, and if you don't follow along, at least publicly, then you will also get the same treatment, and that is weird. It's weird. Does it not sound weird to anyone else? It sounds weird to me.
I
Sounds
do
weird.
remember Jesus saying, "Treat everybody as I treat them, unless they decide I don't exist."
Are you sure that's how it went?
I think that's what it said.
Yeah.
I don't think he said unless, actually, now that you mention it. I think he just said treat everybody this way.
What'd you say?
I said I think Jesus treated everybody the same, and there was no unless.
I don't even think about Jesus. That's my thing. I always forgetting about to think about Jesus.
I mean, that's why it's
Like, I
not
don't-
natural.
It doesn't register. Like, my starting point don't start with him. So I'm like, oh yeah, Jesus.
I don't
Jesus.
start with him either.
See, that's where you slipping up. See, that was a test. I was testing somebody.
God.
Failed.
Well, I'll
Miserably.
tell
You
that
jumped off the
Yes.
bridge too.
day after day.
I was gonna say something. It made me forget. Everybody's completely stunned.
Should we talk about our backgrounds and our frames this week?
It's sinful.
It is sinful.
Right?
I mean,
I must be gluttony. Wow. Wow. Wow.
I see a lot of Taco Bell over there.
You think I just sit around and just, yeah, I would.
I mean, I got the pills.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
the doctor has pills.
And I got Jesus on a pole.
Jesus on a stripper pole.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Holy,
have
look, he
the
needs me on that. You on the
profile
stripper
picture of
cross.
my future wife.
It's got like a Sin City-esque theme
Mhm.
to it. Yeah.
We mentioned Sin City last week, so I was like,
That
Hmm.
was a good movie. Speaking of,
That was a
uh-huh.
good- I enjoyed that movie. At least the first one. I don't remember any of the others.
I don't
Me
remember.
neither.
what's happening.
I don't even really remember the first one. I just
Yeah,
remember
I
I
just
thought it
remember.
was good.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's all I remember.
I was like, yeah, I remember liking it,
hmm
and then I don't know.
Had a lot of famous people in it with weird faces and stuff.
I don't know.
Black and
I have
white
a hard.
with red.
I have a hard time when people call people famous people because I don't register them because I don't remember people. So when people bring us like, what's like who? What do he look like? What movie is in? I don't know this person.
No,
that
I just
person?
meant at the time when the movie came out, it was like sort
No, I
of the
know.
A-list celebrities
I
in
know.
the movie, you know.
I'm
like-
not talking about what I'm talking about. Me right now.
Oh.
Me.
Oh. Sorry.
This is about me and how I am better than anybody because I don't recognize the celebrity.
I wanted
No.
to.
Chalupa.
I want chalupa now. Dang.
Mhm.
As soon as I hear that word,
The Chalupa
Man.
Supreme.
Gluttony is a sin.
Says
Is that a sin in the Bible? That's just something somebody made up?
it's not real. I don't think that it's like listed, but it's like one of those 7 deadly sins, which are like post
All right, so
Bible.
That's a weird. Let's think about it though. That's like if let's say it is a sin. That's just a weird thing. Like, well, you eating too much food? Oh,
I have a question. I feel like this brings up a good question. Is exactly what is a sin? Is it one of the 631 commandments being broken in Mosaic law?
Mm-hmm.
Is
All
that what
those
sin
are
is?
sins, and you should write them down, remember them. And
I
I'd
think that is what
like
sin
to know
is.
next week.
I think sin is the 600 and I think it's 631
Mm-hmm.
minutes that are
600. It's like in the 600.
it's 600 something. I know that.
That seems a bit excessive.
Yep.
No,
It's not. It's not just 10
don't do that
commandments.
to God.
How many laws are there on the books?
Laws. Oh,
We
way
don't
more than
know.
600.
We like our rules.
We
you know?
do. We like
That's-
penal codes. Penal.
I love.
I'm so glad,
Beautiful.
man. Shout out to my anxiety. It saved me from. Whew. I appreciate that anxiety. Well, I'm glad I
I'm
didn't.
giving Jesus a hand job.
I think
Where
you're
is
on
he?
the wrong side.
You're on the wrong side.
Let me watch.
You're on the wrong side.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side.
Oh, for me, it's the right side.
Oh,
There
Yeah.
you go. Now you're stroking Jesus.
maybe he'll come back. Easter's
Which
coming
can't
up.
be a sin. How could stroking Jesus be a sin? Surely he would want that.
We're gonna be there for 3 days, Ryan.
We're
We're gonna
That's all
all
it
be
takes
off.
to
We're gonna,
wake him from the dead.
we all gonna be off the live. You still here? The
Well,
Easter.
there-
What y'all do for Easter? Like Jehovah Witness?
Actually, I was gonna say I've
memorial.
heard some weird conversations going around that because the memorial wasn't that always supposed to be on Nisan 14, which was the like Jewish calendar, but it's not
You're
this
talking
year.
about stuff. You're
It's
talking.
off.
I don't know what you're talking
Jay
about.
knows about it.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. It's just all nonsense anyway. It's all made up. But
But I don't know what you're talking about.
they're not fitting their normal timing that they do it, and it's closer to Easter, which they're
To
very
do
much
what?
against celebrating Easter. So
What are
it's
they
just
doing? Doing what?
the memorial.
I don't know what that is.
Well, then you're not really gonna get baptized with Jehovah's
You need
people,
to
right?
listen.
Like,
You can't
what
do
is
this.
falling
that?
The
away.
most important,
Listen better.
holiest day.
Like, what is that?
This is the holiest day of Joseph.
We
Is
just
it like
quietly
this?
sit in a room and pass a cup and plate around very quietly and awkwardly, and then be bored for a few more minutes.
Crackers and wine, and only those going to heaven partake of it.
It's the most boring
It's one of the
celebration.
few-
Most
Life.
One of the few
wonderful
rituals.
time of the year.
One of the
I'm
few
never
rituals that
gonna
Jehovah's
enjoy
Witnesses
life.
do.
Like I always had to resist the urge of like taking a bite of one of the crackers just because I wanted to know what they taste like.
They look
What was
nasty.
the rest? What was
They
I
didn't
doing?
look good.
What
What?
was I doing? What was I doing?
I
Like,
have no idea.
what was I
What were we
doing
doing when? What are you talking about?
when all y'all people was doing this weird religious stuff?
You were being a normal person. You were probably watching TV like a normal kid.
Yep. Yep.
And y'all was over there just doing that. Oh man,
We
that's
were doing Gregorian chants.
Oh. Oh man, just those. Oof! I knew in my bones something was weird about that church we was going to. I knew it. I didn't. I used to
Not
love
really
when they didn't.
fine.
They stopped when we moved and they stopped showing up.
We were passing around blood and flesh, brother. It's a blood cult,
That's right.
but that's what every Christian religion is. So
I don't
Oh,
wanna
y'all
get
drink
into it.
y'all drink communion?
Not
that's an
exactly.
interesting.
Not
question.
everybody.
That's yeah, not everybody. That's a
I'm
complicated question.
well, my mom used to take me to church when I was a kid, and this is what I remember from the church. All I remember from this church is always the ceiling fans spinning, because that's all I'll just be staring at. I was like ceiling fans just spinning for 2-3 hours, and then they would do the communion, and like she would just I wasn't baptized, and Baptist you have to be baptized to be able to partake in it, but she would just give it to people who keep telling her to stop giving it to me. But I'm like, give me some of that juice. I love eating juice and crackers. Little wafer things, a little bit of Jesus ain't
Some of
never
that
hurt
juice.
nobody.
Oh, so you like Jesus in you?
Does.
I have Jesus in me.
Hannibal.
Please let Jesus come into me. Please, Jesus.
I mean-
come
I'll
into
let-
me.
If you pray hard enough.
Please.
He may or may not.
Pray hard enough for
He,
Jesus.
he may or may not. That's what he is. That should be their motto. I may or may not.
May or may
May or
not.
may
Maybe.
not.
We'll see.
There's no criteria for how. I have no criteria for how I
This is-
answer prayers, but I answer all prayers, but not all prayers, but some prayers, but I answer all prayers. Okay.
This sounds like online dating. You just go up to a woman and say, please, or go up to a man if you're a woman.
Is this
Say,
the advice you
"Please
got
come
from
into
the
me."
Alpha Dom guy, or
And then they say, I may or may not.
Jesus and juice.
I'm the alpha sub.
Got my mind on my
This is
money and my
advice from
money
the
on my
officer.
mind.
No, I got my mind on the Bible and the Bible
On the
on
Bible
my
on
mind.
my
Yeah.
Okay.
Sipping
Praise
on cheese and juice.
Praise him.
I didn't tell y'all I used to write parody songs.
I
Yeah.
would.
And
Are
I
you
love
the Weird
parody
Al of
songs.
our generation?
I love weird. Yeah.
yeah, they just all
Please say
parody. They
yes.
all, I guess, but I never did much with them. I had Rick Ross, the rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I had one named Rick Cross.
Why did you specify the rapper?
Because there's two different Rick Rosses. It's
Gotcha.
the real one, then it's the rapper one.
Right, exactly. I wanted to bring that up. Let's go on a tangent on that.
Oh, the real Rick Ross?
Yeah.
Freeway Ricky?
Freeway Rick Ross.
Yeah, and he's a casual believer.
Rick Ross is a casual believer?
Mhm.
What denomination?
Probably regular Christian, Baptist, probably some just regular.
Baptist, whatever.
Nothing too
Yeah.
crazy, man. I'm telling you, like the regular Baptist, not like y'all's. You wouldn't know. It's just people just show up. Some people may go to church one day, never come back again. Some people just show up once a year. Some people just bounce around and go to different churches. It don't matter. Whatever. Casual believers. Those are the ones y'all got to worry about. They're everywhere.
They would be shunned.
Start worrying.
as-
They're all in your neighborhood.
Knocking on your doors.
They're not even knocking on your door. Yeah, they're delivering your packages. They're serving you your food. They're everywhere. The
That's
believers
scary.
everywhere. And I told you, I'll be like, man, this person's cool. And then they'll say something that's like, oh, we're different. We're different. You're not evolved like me.
Well,
You're
I'm honey,
primitive
that's kind of
creature.
thinking about.
I wanted to just bring up one more thing before
Okay.
we wrap up this topic. And that is just like in the thought of thinking about sin, like we've talked about what our own morality is and who's making up the sin, who makes up the rules. It's but regardless of whether you believe in sin or you believe, well, actually, I think we kind of talked about this backstage before we got going, and I think we said it best then, but now I'm not going to say it as well. And that if you don't believe in sin, then you're not a sinner. But if you do believe in sin, and there's a lot of sins, as we've mentioned, apparently, usually what goes hand in hand with sin is guilt. Because if you believe you've committed a sin, then you are more than likely having a lot of feelings of guilt. And so I just kind of wanted to bring up guilt and that feeling of guilt, like what it is and how that can change us as people.
Oh, that's a doozy.
Do y'all
5
deal with
minutes
guilt?
ago.
Do y'all deal with
Purity culture. That's one. That's a huge one. That really wrecks your mind. It takes everything that's natural for a human and turns it into something impure and like gross. And then some parts of it you got to turn on when you get married after you've been told it was like bad for.
You got
years.
I know somebody who said, speaking on your purity culture thing, they said even if you don't want to, And I was like, ew, that sounds terrible.
Oh, what, to have sex?
Yeah, even if you don't want to.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. They
Mm.
think it's a woman's duty. Uh-huh.
Right.
Mhm.
Even if you don't want to.
I
Woman's
feel
duty.
like guilt is driven into you in. I mean, I can only speak from my experience as Jehovah's Witnesses, but I would easily imagine every other Christian religion I've seen, pretty much. That guilt is driven into you constantly, to the point that I realize that I feel guilt. I always find a way to feel guilty almost every day today. And I am thinking it's because of the way I was taught to do it. But now, instead, today, I feel guilty about my own morality rather than what I would have in the past thought of as sin. But I'm like, oh, I didn't tell people about this thing that happened. Well, now I'm a bad person. I do that today, and I feel like that was taught to me from my religious experience.
I would say that's probably a good bet.
Yep. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, buddy.
Yep. Yeah, and I would
But
also
it,
just really quickly point out that it is also easy to go from the I believe all these things are sinful to and then feeling really guilty because you want to do those things that are probably very natural to human nature and our biology, and then be told that those are really sinful things that we should feel guilty about, and then we get away from that. Maybe we don't feel guilty about those things, but we still carry the weight of that feeling of being guilty all the time. Like I was born in guilt, I was raised in guilt, I've carried the guilt with me for so long that it was almost comfortable. And then, even though I got away from the religion and those rules and didn't think that sex was necessarily something to feel guilty about, I found a whole host of other things to blame myself and feel guilty about, and then continue to carry that with me because it's like a security blanket and I feel comfortable because it's what I've always known. And then I just don't know what it feels like to not have the guilt. And maybe I'm a little
No.
afraid to get rid of it because what do I do now? And so like that's something I've struggled with. And remember, I've been out of this religion for 20 years. It's taken me a long time to think about these things, and I didn't go to therapy.
Let
So
me
I had
ask
to
you
learn
this:
the hard way.
what are we supposed to do when we get rid of our idea of sin and we just replace it with our own idea of morality? And we have uh, our nature goes against our morality. For example, oh man, what would be a good example?
Well, I just want to say really quick, I would start with forgiving yourself first from the things that you looked at and that you had guilt about that was sinful, that you no longer believe is sinful. The first thing you should do before you start going and judging yourself about your now freedom for thinking of your own morality is forgive yourself for feeling guilty about doing a natural, normal, biological desire, right? Like that would be a helpful place to start.
Right. All right. Well, I have a piece of literature to recommend to everybody, then, which is a piece of Native American literature. Cote or coyote. Well, I can't remember the exact name, but if you type in Native American literature, coyote anus, you'll find it. But it's like coyote just hates his anus. He asks his this is a very weird story. All right. I don't even know how to get into it. But he goes to sleep and he asks his butt to watch the fire. This story is aimed towards like 13-year-olds, like something you would imagine you're trying to make 13-year-olds laugh or something. And he asked his butt to watch the fire while his food cooks, to make sure nothing steals his food. And some ducks come along and steal his food. And the entire time, his anus is farting to warn the coyote that ducks are there stealing his food. And the coyote wakes up finally after not hearing his anus for a long time. He finally wakes up and discovers all his food is missing. And he thinks that his anus didn't warn him, even though he asked his anus to warn him. So he sticks a hot stick into his anus to punish him. And when I first heard the story, I'm like, what in the fuck is this about? I have no idea what you're talking about at all. And I've been thinking about it. And I think the idea is that it does no good to punish yourself.
That's a weird way
Why-
to say that.
Yeah, I know. It is a very weird way to say that. Like, the coyote accomplished nothing
Like, why would
by
that?
sticking a hot rod up its own anus, even though it asked its anus. to do
Wow.
something.
Why did ancient people didn't just say what it was?
Right.
I got all this deciphering to figure out what you trying to tell me is. Oh, don't hurt myself. Okay. No, I'm gonna tell you about a
Some
coyote
people
sticking a
need
hot.
examples, maybe.
That ain't no example. That's more than I need to know. Hot frozen.
Entertainment wrapped up with a little like moral.
See, that's probably my problem. I don't know, man. It's just weird. I hate messaging. I don't know. Talk like that makes me when everything starts
Yeah.
talking, it makes me feel like, why are you talking to me like that? Just tell me what it is. like why
Be
you
more direct.
Well, he did
Well,
say it was aimed at 13-year-olds.
No, I know, I know, but I'm
Right.
just saying that. Like, I'm not like, man, that seems like I said like because it seems more complicated to go that route to teach that lesson than just you might as well just tell the lesson. If that's
but
your
see,
overall
if-
if your overall goal is to teach that lesson,
That's literally
Why
the
go
whole
this-
I've
Bible.
been thinking
Blasphemous.
around the same thing.
that's what I'm saying
and
about the
some-
Bible. The Bible is a big one that's like 66 books of the same thing, page
something
after
I have
page,
thought, though, is
page
that
after page.
if you teach that lesson in a really weird way like that,
You
that
get religion,
sticks with somebody a lot more than just saying, "Hey, don't punish yourself."
and
You
it
just say,
sticks
"Hey,
too
don't punish
well.
yourself." If you just say, "Hey, don't punish yourself," somebody thinks, "Okay, that's good advice," and then they don't think about it any more than that. But if somebody has this image of a coyote sticking a stick up its anus for no good reason, this just sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Then you get
And they're like, "Oh, the message of that was don't punish yourself."
but then
You're
you
gonna
get to
constantly think of a coyote with a stick up its
But
anus
you-
all the time.
but you're gonna be confused. But then it's open for interpretation because it's not exactly what it is. And now then different people interpret it means something else, and now y'all arguing about what it means, and now we're in the same rigmarole mode we are with religion.
Ancient ways
I'm
of
not gonna do the
communicating are not
coyote
always
ass religion.
efficient today, and we have much more efficient ways of communication today. So I understand your frustration, but they didn't have iPads and iPhones back then, okay, buddy?
Yeah, talk about coyotes,
But no, but when I hear that now, I say, yeah, that's cool, but I'm not impressed.
Well, but oral history is more interesting when it's a story that one is easy to remember and two is
I'm sorry, I'm no fun.
What?
But I'm sorry, I'm no fun.
Oh, well, but you
you're
always
fine.
say that when I'm particular and scientific and
I know.
specific that it's boring. So
I know.
you can't
The
have
apple
both
doesn't
ways.
fall far from the tree, though. I know.
I won't let you get away with that.
But it's not, but I don't have an issue with hearing it though. But my only issue is not hearing it. It's because I know other people are going to like they don't know how to, some people don't know how to hear stuff and not go crazy with it. They like now, like these people going crazy with this 66 book, this Bible. They're going crazy with it. They're going crazy
66?
with it, man. The Bible.
Six
The
book.
Bible.
Oh, is it made of 66 books?
I guess 60 books, whatever. What is
Oh.
it, Ryan? How
Depends
many-
on the, it
I was
depends
wondering
on
why
the
you
Bible
said it.
because they're all different.
See that right there. Oh, well, you speaking that language. you speak good.
Catholics have different Bibles than the JWs. Than I think the Coptics have different.
Yeah, the Catholics have the apocryphal, some of the apocryphal text
I-
included in their Bible.
I argue that
I've been reading romantasy novels, so I don't really care about the Bible anymore.
That's a lot better way to base your life, in my opinion. I want
But the Bible's the number one selling book in the world.
Of Daniel Steele novels.
Boring. Nobody reads it though. They just buy them. They don't read them.
they buy
It's like
them and
when-
hand them out to people.
Like when your
That's why
friend,
they don't-
if your friend or your son or somebody is an author and they publish a book, you just buy it because you want them to feel good.
Yeah, but the church is buying like bulks of them to hand out to people.
They
It's not
also
like people are just clamoring to get their hands on a Bible.
Published book. It doesn't mean it's good.
Look, the Bible is good to hear. I like hearing it. When
Is
Ryan,
it?
when you be
You do?
yeah, when Ryan be talking about stuff from now, I love hearing it. But then every time I start enjoying it, it just reminds me that somewhere this is the reality for somebody.
Right. Somebody believes this shit.
I'm like,
No offense.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
wow.
I probably wouldn't care as much about disliking the Bible as much as like, I don't dislike Shakespeare, but people don't,
Live by
make
it.
laws about what Shakespeare had to say.
Thou art.
People don't try and
Right.
force other people to live and believe as they do because
We all-
they like Shakespeare so much.
We have to spend the rest of our lives talking like we're in a Shakespearean play.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's a translator? If you look up, if you search, I can't remember exactly what I searched. Something like Old English to Old English translator, something like that. You might, or English to Shakespearean English. You might be able to make it easy to live in a world as you suggest. It exists, and I've used it a couple times to make fun of people.
Okay. I'm down to clown. I don't know. I don't know. I just like to talk. That's all. Don't listen to me. I really like conversating about random stuff. I hate that all the people I know are believers.
Oh, really? All of
I
them?
know. Yep.
Yeah, almost everybody I know. I don't know. In
Oh,
real
wow.
life, in like actual life. But they're not but they're regular believers. So don't
But
really
your wife,
yeah.
you should have
Yeah.
your wife.
Yes, yeah, there are people who are deep in the church, knee deep. I was just at the church helping them do some stuff, and I was sitting there thinking, like, man, but I was like, y'all just some great people. They're just some great people, man. But I've learned to navigate for 13 years how to not 13 years undercover. I don't think I've mastered this. 13 years undercover.
Why? That's like if I were to pretend that I wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness and get reinstated just
But
so my
it's
mom
but that's
attacked
but
me.
but you don't understand. Like, there's no difference between being a regular person. Like, it's hard. I would say it'll be hard to fake it for Jehovah's Witness because it's too high controlling. But a Baptist church isn't high controlling. You wouldn't know one if you saw one. You know when you see a Jehovah's Witness. Oh, that's a Jehovah's Witness right there. Look at
They'd be so happy to know that you'd say that. Like they don't want to look like a Baptist.
Yeah. So we know when we see them, but I've been it like you just gotta know how to conversate. I can talk to anybody about it. Like that. In their eyes, they probably think I'm a Christian. And, yeah, because I navigate. I
Pulling
control.
us to make us think that you believe with us, but really,
Yeah, I really believe in Jesus. Like I'm just here to sneak in and get y'all in. It's just weird to be unbothered. I just never been bothered by it, and this is the most I've been around it was getting with my wife. It's like, oh, this stuff is weird. I didn't know it was this weird. That's what's the most shocking. I said, man, this is really weird. And it's like, man, wow, you people are really committed to this weird stuff. And it's like, I ain't got no issue with you being committed, but I don't want to be committed like you are.
Right.
Like you can do you, but just leave me alone. You know? My thing is if you assume my thing is like this, like when my mother-in-law asked me did I believe in Jesus Christ, died for my sins, and yada yada. And she looked me in the eyes. And I looked her in the eyes, and I knew she knew what I want. She wanted me to lie to her.
Oh,
So
gross.
you know what I did? I lied to her. I said yes.
yeah, sure, yeah. Me and Jesus go way back, we're buddies, pals.
I said yeah, and then went on about my day.
Yeah, because it was easier to not create a conflict than
because how I live my life don't line up with how they perceive a person without a deity to live, an atheist to live. Their mind thinks, oh, you're atheist, you're just doing bad stuff, and they're equated with witchcraft and all this other stuff. So no, it's none of that. I can sit in your church like a regular person and just be like, I don't know. I'd probably give sign because this is how I'm in the church. This is me in church.
So what I'm hearing is Tyler Rickshaw, check for okay with lying to other people.
Check.
Sin. Check.
So would that be is that immoral? I'm technically lying. Like I'm lying.
You are lying. Is a lie always moral? So there's lots of moral philosophers who've had conversations on
that is a whole topic. Is lying moral or immoral? I want to go back to a comment.
Never. Okay. What?
I want to go back to a comment somebody posted. Said, "Do you see religion as a prison sentence?" And I wanted to say, I kind of do in a way for children.
Like they get out once they turn 18.
Not even that. I feel like whatever religion your parents are is kind of like
what you're gonna be.
It's a prison sentence, and it's unknown how many years you're going to be that. It could be a life sentence that you're going to be the religion of your parents, or you might be the religion of your parents just until you're 18, or maybe till you're 18 plus 20 more years. But you're going to believe what your parents teach you at the beginning for at least a while. So in that way, it can be kind of a prison sentence.
Totally can see that.
Yeah, think y'all will reoffend and go back?
Tempted.
No.
I was tempted to go back into the system because it was all I knew.
I'm no recidivist.
I mean, I did. I was a reoffender until I finally learned my lesson. I learned what the system really was.
We still got to, hey, listen, sister, you can always come back. Our doors are
I know. Oh, I know.
They would love a person for you to come back.
Especially now with the new rules.
The game is so look, if you was, I would say in my opinion, this would be immoral. Well, I don't know. But if you could go back right now and fake it, and they would believe it because it's so easy to fake it.
Of course.
Like especially when you know what it is, when you know, but not in the beginning when you kind of falling out and you're trying to fake it still. But like I could go fake being a Jehovah's Witness because I don't have any of the trauma from it. So it's like, yeah, I know. I already know what y'all doing. I already know the game. Yeah, I know. I'll go pretend. Give me some money. Like you start a church, it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, sermon. You do what you want. It's so easy. It's such a money grab, an easy money grab, and I'm going for it, guys.
You're gonna start your
Are
own.
we gonna go to the dark side?
Yes, I'm gonna start a new church.
And throw
Damn.
away our atheists?
You're going to use your knowledge for bad and not for good.
I love that idea.
You're my arch nemesis.
Yeah,
Using my knowledge for bad. That's what my brother does.
You know how much
It's
money you can
hilarious.
make from church merch?
Oh,
You
I know.
Well, just slap Jesus. Oh, come on, boy. They love some Jesus stuff. He's like a hotcake, the way he's selling.
I think it's good to recognize what you're capable of and know that you could use your powers, you could use your knowledge for evil, and how easy it would be and how much it would benefit you.
How would it be evil? I'm just selling t-shirts.
No, I'm not that. I just mean in general. Like you could use your powers for bad or for your own, for your own gain, which is usually ends up being at some point bad for other people, because whenever there's winners, there's always losers, and varying degrees of that. But I totally forgot what my point was, because never mind. All right.
I'm at that point too. I'm like,
the elders are a legion of doom. You can't stop me from taking over. I'm gonna work my way into I'm gonna go on in the cover. Next time y'all hear from me, I'm gonna be on the official JW YouTube channel speaking.
I'm with the punk to pastor. His comment. I think we should do this.
Do what?
24-hour sexathon? Oh.
What?
Which one?
All right. Man, I don't know about 24 hours.
I mean, 24 hours is maybe a long time, but
That sounds like it's gonna stink.
Oh man.
Well, I was just thinking, like, there's so much about sex in general that is so like forbidden and sinful, and growing up in the Jehovah's Witness organization, literally everything about sex.
I did notice that. I do notice that. Y'all, a lot of y'all do talk about sex a lot.
It's freeing to talk about it, because literally I grew up never.
I told you I was reading the Kama Sutra book.
Yeah, I know. And
just for sport.
That would never happen.
Well, secretly, because they had a nice page in there, but it was just hand drawn. That was enough back then.
I mean, one of the things that growing up in a religion like Jehovah's Witness can do to you is you can confuse people that want to keep something private with people that want to judge you for whatever you're doing. So like if you're open about your sex life, you can confuse somebody that wants to keep their sex life private for somebody that is actively being like, you're immoral for being open about your sex life, because they're both going to treat you in a similar way. They're both going to be quiet whenever you're being open, and then they're going to, one of them's going to not be quiet behind your back.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Dob Stopper. I'm not tracking.
Well,
I think I got a gist of what you were saying, but I don't know if I did. And now I just forgot what I was gonna say.
I think the fact
we're
that
all to the reading point.
Well, I think the fact that sex is so big of a topic in the religion that we grew up that everything
Don't
about
have
it is
it.
judging everybody. Like you have to judge everybody else too. And sex is something that involves you and another person. So we are just naturally going to judge
That
everybody. I mean, it doesn't
that
always have to, but that's
but
wrong
that
and you're not allowed to
was
do that.
I think inside of the Baptist thing, I noticed that it's preached not to judge other people's. That's ingrained in the message to not judge other people on their sins.
Right.
Versus
I
y'all,
think
hey, you judge them.
right. I think that's the key to the future for everybody is just to quit judging other people on everything.
We can't
Every
stop.
time you notice yourself getting emotional in any way, ask yourself why and ask yourself if you're judging someone else, especially about something that you don't actually know anything about.
There's also just lack of experience, right? Like when you're not allowed to even talk about something, when an organization that when the Jehovah's Witness organization tells married couples how they can and cannot behave behind closed doors with each other. I mean, there's lots of literature that they've put out that tell married people how they should and shouldn't have sex together. So, I mean, you're talking about such amount of control that either people have secretly done and explored their own things, and then again, there's all this guilt that goes with it. Or they completely cut it off and not looked at it at all, ever, and don't even know what's out there. Don't even know what options might be out there to do. And it creates a lot of problems when you've got mixed company and you've got people who are open and
Ooh,
experienced.
grandma speak. It's a mixed company.
Well, you know what I mean? Like people that are not as prudish about it, people who aren't afraid of, or it's
That
normalized
may
to
be it.
talk about it.
That's kind of what you were saying, Dob Stopper.
What?
What ex-witness Wakehead wrote.
Are you talking about someone who bashes homosexuality but is closeted?
Is that kind of what you was talking about?
I've already forgotten what I was talking about.
Okay, then never mind then. We ain't gotta circle back on that.
I don't know. Bottom line, mind your business.
I'll tell you that if you're asking me if that was specifically on my mind, no. If you're asking me anything beyond that, I couldn't tell you because my mind is. I've been drinking some.
On Jehovah.
Uh-huh.
That's where your mind needs to be and not and where it needs to stay. Don't let it wander, great brother.
I wrote down a list of sins that I thought like I could think of that Jehovah's Witnesses believe are a sin. And then on the side of it, I wrote whether or not I agree that it's maybe like a moral thing. And the first one I wrote was murder. Feel like that's pretty easy, right? Most of us agree most of the time that's not a great idea. You should probably not do it.
So that's a sin?
Well, I wouldn't call it a sin because I don't call any of them sins. I don't believe sins are real because I don't believe in a God. But I would say maybe we shouldn't do it on policy, on principle.
I think we kind of, yeah, true. I can agree with that for an extent.
And like lying, I wrote down lying.
Oh, calling me out. Jeez.
I mean, liar.
Punk 2 Pasture says, what is the Discord? That sounds like a good question. Should we have a Discord for the four of us? This group.
We have a
us in a chat.
There's JW Discord.
The Apostate Coalition Discord.
The channel you're on. This is where all those people are.
Yeah.
They're all in the Discord?
Do you want to be in the Discord?
I
Stopper.
I'm just looking at YouTube comments.
We're always
Well, they're commenting from Discord into YouTube.
I'm
No,
not on
no,
Discord
no.
at all. I'm just looking at YouTube.
Oh, excuse me.
There is an
Oh,
apostate.
so you like
Discord.
you get a little delay, huh?
I don't. Well, I'm actually on.
Oh, I'm stupid. Don't listen to me.
StreamYard.com.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen
Yeah.
to me. I'm stupid.
there. It is.
Oh, another
There's
Discord
Discord.
channel I can just look at the notifications of and never check.
I never do anything. Same.
I can't actually join right this moment. I'll have to join later.
6 on the list. What? Oh, lying. I mean, this is in no particular order. This is just in my order, I guess. Okay. I went murder, lying, adultery, idolatry, disrespect, disobedience, disloyalty, disbelief, and apostasy. I mean, when you break it down.
Wait, those are sins that you believe?
No.
Oh,
I
I
wrote
was
down
like,
things that
geez,
I
disloyal?
believe. I believe that Jehovah's Witnesses believe these things are all sins.
Oh yeah. Disloyal? Disloyal to Jehovah, right?
Disloyal to whomever. Disloyal to the organization. You're not allowed to question whether or not they are really God's one true voice.
Yeah.
So
It was an honor killer here in out in Houston a few years back. No, I was reading the comment over there.
All right, y'all. It is 11:30. It is 11:30.
Okay.
I agree. I'm tired as well.
Yeah. We're talking about where at this point. Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I don't believe all those things are sins, personally. Most of them
Yeah,
are just
I don't
dumb.
believe in sin.
I think if you work on consent and bodily autonomy
Wait,
and
did we
harm
ever-
reduction, hold yourself accountable to your own words, think of equality, fairness, and altruism, and I don't know, just don't be a hypocrite. It's
And
annoying.
stay away from murder.
And don't murder people.
No, stay away from
Sounds
it.
good. Stay away from murderers.
No, murder. Just murder in general. You don't want to be
Be
nowhere
near
near.
murderers, but don't be near the act.
away from all of it.
murder.
Both murderers and murder.
You want to
Just
stay at
stay-
least a mile away. That way, if the cops ask you anything, you can say you weren't near it.
All right then.
And
On that note,
On that
I
note,
love having that much silence after something like that. I say makes me feel real comfortable about what I just said.
No, sorry. Ex-Witness Awake just said they lump apostasy, pedos, and hooking up
let's see.
hooking up to leave a marriage at the same level of sin. And I have actually had this conversation with people, and they say, well, all sins are equal,
Right.
Yes,
right.
sir.
That is believed
equally
among,
bad.
among
And-
many Christians.
And I think that is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
And then
that's
the second most common belief is that all sins are equal except for one sin, which is disbelief.
I know. Well, that's why I said disbelief is a sin.
but
probably the
like
worst
it's,
sin of
it's
all.
It's a mega sin.
It's not having ever believed is less sinful than having once believed and not believing anymore. That's
Ha!
the worst
So I
possible
guess
thing.
I'm good then, huh?
Maybe. Although you've had a lot of chances. Can't deny that.
And I don't recall these chances.
This right here, this interaction, it counts.
Nobody's presented me with enough evidence to make me go, yeah.
My cat is crying for me. I have to go now. Okay, bye.
I just heard it.
Thank you guys. Next week it's a different topic, I think.
Yes. Next week I have plans.
For real this time, or you just gonna wink it?
I wing everything. Everything every day is just me winging it. So it's life. Okay. Bye.
Stay tuned to find out. Love you all. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for Dan D for supporting the channel so much. We love you, and everybody in the comments. You're amazing. Thanks for sharing some of your feelings on these topics that were kind of we were told how to feel. We weren't given an option to think for ourselves and form our own opinions. So it's nice to kind of shoot the crap about it. So thank y'all. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you
Have a
next
good
week.
night.
Night.